day. What a day. What a day.
Tell me about
How you doing,
it. Not too bad this morning. How are you?
man? I'm pretty good. Relaxing. It's been a pretty busy week. Kind of just preparing and getting ready for what's to come after the summer's over.
Yeah, you got school coming for the kids here soon, don't you?
Yeah, yeah. That's
You'll
gonna
get to
be
go back and
that's
go
gonna
to
be
art
exciting.
classes. Are any of your kids into like drawing and stuff?
Oh yeah. My oldest likes art, and he's probably more creative than the three when it comes to art.
Cool.
He's a very good artist. He's drawn some
I
really
have
cool
seen
stuff. He's actually
he's
very
given us a
creative
couple
too.
suggestions too. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
He's given us some material.
I've used a few of them. I even messed around with him and put him in to see like how he would like it and all that stuff, and he loved it.
Hmm.
He's always so into it. You know, he
It's a
would.
lot to get into at first, so
Yeah.
it could be overwhelming
Did,
for some.
did you ever find anything? Um,
Any what?
did you find anything about like this day in history for AI? You find anything good?
Nothing in particular. It was just like uh, more dates of what was going on in that year, like in the 50s and stuff.
Yeah.
I'll have to do a lot more research on it, but I'm sure there's actually something on there that would not necessarily we wouldn't have something every time for a show, but if it happens to fall on that date and we have some information, I thought we could throw that into the show. Like, AI's been around long enough now to where you can connect dots to where it originally started, like the computers, early computers, and
Yeah.
stuff like that. Turing, I think, was one of them who made the adding, or not the adding machine, basically the machine that fought against the German folk of World War II. That was one of them. That was a good example, but I don't
Nice.
believe that happened today. No, no, no. What was our show today? We were kind of just deciding to do some random stuff, weren't we?
Yep. And it's actually I do have something here. There's some things here. I'm reading it right now. The president of the United States has listed a few things that to keep Americans safe, his AI executive order must ban certain practices. It says in the
Oh
article
boy.
from The Hill that algorithmic harms are increasingly ubiquitous. Everyday AI and machine learning technologies determine often without human oversight people's liberty and their access to jobs, healthcare, housing, and benefits, among other things. The algorithms may indiscriminate in design, purporting to affect everyone equally. Uh, so the executive order on AI it should prohibit the procurement, use, and funding of AI and data-driven technologies at the federal level, such as predictive policy, facial recognition technology, risk assessments, and algorithmic criminal sentencing. These technologies lack a sound scientific basis, endanger communities, and perpetuate racial discrimination in the criminal legal system. Even if the tech improves over time, its use is too risky to people's fundamental rights to be employed at any level. And this is all coming from the Hill, actually, on this whole statement.
See, for me, and I don't know if you feel the same way, but I'm on the other side where I've only seen pretty much positivity for this for AI, and I would love to see like a little documentary or something on the negativity of it because I've heard negativity for a while with certain things, even Mid Journey and stuff like that.
It's
But
been very negative. Even that
I
comedian
just
Sarah Silverman is having like a major
oh,
lawsuit right now against AI. I don't know exactly who she's suing. She's probably suing like all the corporations and the business and the companies that create
mm-hmm.
the AI.
Now
Which
with
is
actors
fine.
and that stuff and the SAG stuff going on, I understand that how their bodies and faces could be used beyond their
Yeah,
lifespan, and there's argument with that. I get okay, there is a negativity with that. I
Y-
see that,
you know
but
we talk about this too, and like there's probably people who either stopped listening to us or still listen
Hmm.
to us and kind of understand. But like, I just want to say, like, we're not out here selling the art. We're not claiming it
Hmm.
to be ours. We're not. We're not creating massive portraits and going into like an art fair saying that, oh, we created this and this is all done by us. Because that's not the case. We're not
No.
doing that. And I think the people who are doing opposite of that, the ones who are, because people want to talk about the ones who are using it for this and that, but they're not talking about the ones who are actually abusing the hell out of the intelligence. And I think
Hmm.
that's a conversation worth having, and a conversation that
Definitely.
people don't really want to bring, because yeah, there's dangers. Of course, there's dangers with everything, especially with artificial intelligence. But it all starts with the people who are running it. Because there
Yep.
are people out there
Discussion,
who want it for
discussion, discussion.
bad stuff, and then there's people like us who just want to talk about it and show off what's on their minds.
It's like a grown-up version of Saturday morning cartoons in a way for me. I look forward to getting on Midjourney when I have an idea and type it in and
Yeah,
wait for the results. And I'm not looking. Yeah, I gotta have this a certain way. I've given up on that a long time ago. It's fun to not expect what you're gonna get.
yeah, absolutely. So I mean, there's so many technologies like the Amazon delivery vans. Have you
Hmm.
seen them? The newer ones?
Possibly, which ones are you describing?
They look a little
Like the
more
blue
like,
ones?
yeah, they're blue. They're a little more futuristic looking. They have like the LED lights and big wide door in the front. I mean, on the side and the back,
Okay.
and
I
like
definitely hear them more than I see them because they got the nice beeper things now, or clicky
yeah.
cricket.
So so first off, they don't have a key. There's no like key. It's all like electronic. It's like a necklace that the employees have to wear in the car, but the vehicle won't move if they're
Ah.
like a certain feet away. On top of that, the vehicle is much safer. Um, you know, so you know how like the Teslas, they determine like if you could turn into the lane or not. Well, this one, if you're turning into the lane, it'll stop turning into the lane and put you back where you're supposed to be.
Hmm.
It's not self-driving. It's just super technologically advanced.
Slight guidance.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. So it's super interesting.
Well, that's a
Super,
company
super
that's got to be on top of stuff like that too, because they don't rely so much on it more and more. So
yeah.
I see them out there pretty quick when they have a busted tire or something. They're on top of it. You're still getting your package that day. It might be an hour later, but they're pretty quick about it,
Yep, you're
at least in
absolutely
my
right.
area. Hmm.
But I think it's it's I think AI is a big industrial revolution right now. I think we're still learning about it. Like, we've said it before. We just need to learn how to use it properly. You
It's
know,
still a baby.
yeah, yeah.
Still a
Of
little
course,
baby.
and of course, it's gonna say weird things like it's gonna end the world, and because it doesn't understand because it's a baby, right?
Hmm. Well, yeah, you see babies play with kittens. They're not always the sweetest things in the world.
Yeah.
You gotta watch them.
Yeah. So let's get into it, man.
Yeah, let's show some random stuff.
Yeah.
Ideas we've been doing over time or recently.
Yeah, yeah. This is
Oh
technically
yeah.
this is technically artificial mind too. Yeah, so what? Talk to me about this one. This is yours.
I want to say this was something that I made like after was it Oppenheimer that we did? No, it was Nolan, Christopher Nolan podcast.
Okay.
So I was doing like just apocalyptic views and stuff like that. I was doing a couple of those. Like I was a little fascinated with Atomic Blast after watching that movie, so
Kind of looks like
that was a
there's like a
product of it.
tornado under that blast of some sort.
And then like, are you talking about the blast to the right or the main blast to the left
The
there?
well to oh, I see. It's reversed for you. Um.
Okay, the white
So
one, the
the
white
no,
clouds.
I'm talking about the dark one.
Okay, I kind of thought that those white clouds were actually some kind of laser system that we weren't all aware of that they could utilize
Yeah.
from the clouds. But yeah, the main blast there, there's a couple of those. I like that.
Yeah, I
I'm trying
kind
to
of
make wallpapers
so
a lot.
the one with the white clouds. It's just kind of like there's like this laser underneath. It's very eerie, but
Hmm.
the big black cloud, the main focal point, it has like these strands of I don't know what it is. You know, kind of looks like
De-
those roller coaster
debris.
rides of debris.
That's,
A scary, scary moment in time right there. My God. But I mean, can you imagine seeing that in person?
no. I choose run, 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 run. That's all I could think. Run,
I hope
run in opposite direction.
I hope you find a good place to run.
Turn into glass before it's too late.
Yep.
I really like that AR system we got down now that you gave me too, with the cropping to sides
Oh
and
yeah,
stuff.
it just works. Over
Just
here,
like this one.
yeah. So over here, I wanted to make an aerial shot of like a village. You know, just like a cool little coastal village. But I always liked how, you know, kind of like in Afghanistan or places of the Middle East, or even like the favelas in Brazil, how all the buildings are kind of like close together,
Mm-hmm.
and they're like kind of like a village, and they're like there's really neat alleyways that you could go through, kind of like shortcuts. You know what I mean? Like kind of areas
Tight
like
knit.
yeah. So I wanted to make like a tight knit village. Like I wanted to make an aerial shot of it with beautiful coastal waters that you can go into. Um, it kind of looks like there's like a if you look over to the edge of the
So
photo there, it kind of looks like there's a line. That kind of looks like there's like a maybe it's like a part of a reservoir or something.
where it kind of looks deserty, so it'd be
No,
to my left
the
probably.
the other side, the other side. It kind of
Okay.
looks like there's like a road going
Oh,
into the water.
okay.
Maybe it's kind of
Yep.
like an entrance for the
Aqueduct.
boats. Oh, an aqueduct. Perfect. Yeah, thank you. You know, so I thought that's
I
a
see what
really
you're saying.
nice little touch that is in this photo. And then you know you see like that desert area is kind of like the outside of it, probably where they're making more developments or just a place for you to relax. You know, maybe a theme
Mm-hmm.
park, maybe maybe the Wasteland theme park.
Wasteland theme park.
Yeah, I had I've been thinking about like if I ever won the lottery, I would open up a theme park and just call it the Wasteland theme park and just make it a
Could,
Fallout theme, the RP.
could it be any? I was just thinking, could it be any currency, not just bottle caps or something like? I found some belly button lint,
Yep.
paper clip, and an iPhone half sawed, or sawed in half iPhone. That'll work. Come on in, play some games.
Yeah.
I like it.
I do too. I do too. I think this one came out really good. Really good. Go to the next one.
It definitely reminds me of a National Geographic
Oh, like a.
aerial view
Oh
photo.
yeah, it's very HD too. It came out really nice.
Mm-hmm.
I
HD doesn't always come through. Yeah, yeah,
I
you like this one,
I
don't you?
really did like this one, Straight. Talk to me
Oh,
about
I should. Well, I'm gonna tell you what it looks to me now after I've done it, but I need to go pull up the actual prompts that I was using too because I really liked how this turned out. So it's looking at it now, it looks like something out of a video game, like they always have a screenshot of a game. Want to buy this, you can see screenshots of certain
it. Yeah.
areas of it. That's what it looks like to me now. But when I was making these, I made a slew of them, but the pattern or the prompts I was using were more of a prismic pattern through neon light, uh, comma lasers, comma black light,
Yeah.
comma quartz,
LED,
underground
RGB
cavern,
stuff.
yeah, chamber ecosystem, Unreal Engine, and HDR.
Oh, very nice. I like the description that you put in there, especially with the HDR and Unreal Engine. To me, this looks
Mm-hmm.
like I would almost picture this to be like kind of like a small bar or nightclub or something. You know those are the
That
vibes.
actually has maybe a train go through it, possibly to escort people coming in and out of the bar. An underground. Ooh, yeah.
That's actually
Like an old mining cart, but more up to date. Wouldn't be an old rickety
that's
mining
actually
cart.
super clever. That's real clever. I love the colors. I get very like RG. I get a lot of RGB vibes off of it.
Mm-hmm.
So when I'm looking at it, just like, oh, and then you have like the outside aquarium out there, which is really nice. Would I wish like the AI would have picked up more wildlife on there. So like if you're sitting there, or maybe it's like a walkthrough of like an underground museum or something, and you're going through this
Now, there's a
cavern.
couple of these variants I did of this where there was some green vegetation on the right where there was like the cave or the what do you want to call those stalactites or stalagmites? I forget which direction it's coming from, but
Yeah.
you know what I'm talking about? The blue
Yep.
area there. Yep.
I really like this. This is a 10 out of 10.
Thank you.
I really, it's just like the detail of it came out really
Mm-hmm.
good. It came out
Didn't have to do
really
many
good.
variants either. It really turned out nice on them, all of them. I just like this one the most because it had a little bit of variation of colors.
Reminds me of a bunch of people's PC setups these days.
Yeah, yeah. Makes a great wallpaper too.
Ah,
Speaking of great wallpapers.
so I made this one, I want to say like maybe about a month ago, and I
Okay.
wanted to. I'm a huge street art. I love street art. I love graffiti. I'm a huge fan of it. I think it's becoming. I kind of liked it back when you were running, getting in trouble. We're doing the street art, and they would get when it was like kind of like illegal, and then you have
So
guys like
80s
yeah. So you kind of think
or
yeah, like the '80s, and then you think like how Banksy kind of like paved the way
mm,
to kind of change that for people, you know.
mm-hmm.
What I really wanted to portray here is just colorful, just a lot of it's very it's very self-explanatory.
High definition. I mean, you can see all the detail in that.
Yeah,
Which is what I would love to see, and you get to see a lot more of that. And when I go to a city, I'll see some, but probably nowhere near what you get to see. Chicago, I went to, I've seen some cool stuff over the years. Occasionally, we'll get an artist up in college towns around me, and I'll see some cool stuff, but it doesn't stick around. It's like not lasting.
yeah,
It would be cool to see more mural stuff like I would see like in Jersey or New York
yeah. There's
or a bigger city. That
actually
would be awesome.
one that I see a lot driving past. I have to take a picture. I may have a picture for you. I have to text it to you,
Hmm.
or actually you could just Google it right now. In Hoboken, New Jersey, there is a giant Bowie mural. Like when I mean giant, I mean it's like you remember back in the day when New York used to plaster their advertisements on the whole wall of a building.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Are you googling it?
I'm looking it up.
Yeah, look at that.
Wow.
You see it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it's a
pretty wicked.
it's a very 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 well done portrait. And then there's one across the street from it. It's like
I was just gonna say, imagine you lived across the street looking at that every morning,
yeah,
waking up.
there
I'd
is
cool though.
there's another one across the street. I can't remember it offhand what it is, but there's a lot of street art in that area, and the buildings are plastered with things that you see here on the screen with this like kind of street art, graffiti art, and it's welcome there. That area
Yeah,
is growing with a lot of lofts, a lot of studios. So
you got a good
it's
one here of
yeah,
Bob Dylan. It's pretty cool looking. Huh. Wicked.
yeah. They've done some really good stuff. You ready for the next one?
Yeah.
Oh, I made a mistake. So
You didn't.
I put mine next. Oh wait, oh no,
Well,
wait.
that's. I want to guess what this is, though. At least that dude on the right with the lighter hairs remind me of a late night performer for some reason. I don't know. I'm probably wrong on this, but
Yeah, so I just wanted to portray my my love for podcasting. I just wanted to show it off,
okay.
you know, and I want to show off just like a bunch of guys doing podcasts. I'm now doing 5 shows probably.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how many you got going on now?
I'm doing 5 shows, and I found a really cool solace in doing this work, whether as a producer or as a host. Even though I'm getting real tired of being a host, you know. And
It's taxing.
it was a big journey, to get where I am at the moment, and I couldn't be I couldn't be happier, honestly.
Hmm.
Honestly, I couldn't be happier. I think it's really cool, the position
But it
that I'm
does
in
take a lot
because
of
of podcasting.
creative energy to keep going with it too.
And,
Because I
and
know I'm guilty of it. I don't always have the energy or energy artistically to pump out purity all the time. So
yeah, so yeah, that was just
yeah.
my take on this. I just wanted to do a simple art piece about guys doing
Hmm.
podcasting.
Très bien.
I saw this one, and
So we were kind of talking about. Yeah, you like it?
I did.
Do you dig it? Dig it, dig it,
I
dig
mean,
it.
I could already tell that
So we were kind
Salvador
of talking
that
about doing.
I could already tell that Salvador Dali.
Well, of course, definitely heavily, if not overly, inspired by him. We were kind of talking about doing a surrealism episode, and we will down the road. So I was just throwing some ideas out there. What did I have for a prompt on these? Oh, this is definitely more uh, depressing. I put World War III captured in a surrealistic painting, landscape inspired by Salvador Dali. Pretty cut and dry right there. I mean, it's pretty for World War III, don't you think?
It really is. It really is.
It tells you the time it happened in two different time periods or time zones, and you got a pretty little statue melting away over there. So yeah, this is World War III. This doesn't get much more pleasant than that.
Through the perspective, through the perspective.
Yes, yes, it's realism, so you gotta remember that. It's off. It's just a little bit off, but it's pretty. Ooh,
So
setups.
back again with the love of podcasts, and
Backstage.
I keep on thinking about, and I've been looking at your blueprints, and I'm gonna take advantage of your blueprint idea because I saw them, your underground bunker blueprints, and I thought they were really cool.
It's
And I'm
coming
just,
in handy for ideas, man.
yeah, we're
The
gonna have
house you always wanted.
we're gonna have to we're gonna have to do an episode on that actually. So I wanted
Building a
to
studio.
I I want to make a studio. I want to come up with something that would kind of have I love wood. I think the wood aesthetic really makes a nice background, a nice setting, a nice place to sit down and drink some fruit punch and have a cigar and talk about
Natural.
whatever. Yeah, very natural, very
Hmm.
natural tones for a podcast setup, and you got the three screen um, desk setup there for production, which is where I
I
would
like that
sit, and then
table.
yeah, oh, I do too. Looks sturdy.
Mm,
Let's talk about that table for a second.
I will.
That the
That's no IKEA,
legs.
man. That was custom.
Yeah,
That's like not iron, but good
look
metal legs. I
look at the
got one just like
support.
that, kind of.
Look at the support on
Yeah.
that. That is something
But
because like it looks
the
like,
wood top is heavy as hell looking.
yeah, because you see how like the sides have like this square thing with a slab down the middle, and then there's another support in the
Hmm.
back of the table. That's actually really clever.
A good build. I want to do stuff like that. I think we've talked about that. You know, those people that make the tabletop covers with
With the epoxy.
epoxy, so they'll have like, yeah, or they'll have ones that they electrocute the wood to get those designs of like
Oh yeah.
electrocution
See,
or burning it, burning
there's
the
some
wood.
really good epoxy dioramas I've seen too, like really
Hmm.
cool Star Wars ones, and they put the wiring
The
in there too, so
DIY
everything
has
lights
taken
up.
off.
It really has. It really has. They do a good job. I mean, Etsy, you can go on, like the Fallout. Like I go on Fallout Etsy all the time, and there is some really cool stuff that is just there.
And they got that series out that could support them right there. I mean, some of the people that make that stuff would just fit right in that production of the show.
Yeah.
Get a
Yeah.
job.
And yeah, the safety conditions in the studio don't look all that great, but it's a work in progress.
Oh, great. That's what I want to hear.
I keep looking at that backdrop there in the back,
Mm-hmm.
that wood frame, and
The wall.
yeah, I keep thinking like, that's actually really good. I would actually use a frame like that for a podcast setup.
Well, that wall you're talking about, I was looking at that, and it looks like it's got those iron uh, bars at the top, so you could have sliding barn doors. That's what that looks like to
Oh,
me.
yep, or maybe or you can hang a screen on there or something as well.
That too. Yeah.
Yeah, and then like
Multi-purpose.
there's like equipment all over the place. There's a garage door there, so this like kind of shows that this studio was probably like a small, like mechanics garage or a small factory or something like that. So
Yeah.
there's
You
a
got a red
story
light
to
over
it.
there for
So
photography too.
yep. Hey, so I mean that. To be honest with you, I wouldn't even be mad if my studio looked like this when it happens.
That's not even a very big setup. It looks just like what would be about like the size of a pole barn
Yeah, you don't need that much
studio,
space
but
either.
that's still a good big. No, you don't. No,
You really
no,
don't.
not at all.
You really don't. And last but not least,
We were on a Dali kick again.
you sent
So
me
you had
this.
that one. So you had that painting. Painting. I'm calling it a painting. That picture you did not too long ago of like the celestial. It was like a chart-looking thing.
Oh
The one
yeah,
you
the
said is
star
your
map.
best one so far.
The star map.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I was inspired by that when we started talking about surrealism. So I threw that in here. And if I got a quick working computer, I can find the prompts real quick. But this was going along with the Dali stuff. See if I can find the prompt for that because it was different from the World War III one.
Yeah.
It was still along the lines of surrealism, but it wasn't supposed to be depressing. I don't know if I'm going to get it to blow up right away, but I liked this one quite a bit. They remind me of these like garden glass things you can use to like keep your plants well watered and stuff. They
Yeah.
remind me of that, but then they're also planets, so it was kind of neat looking. I turned this into a wallpaper for a week for my desktop.
I really like this. I like this a lot because I'm a big fan of the planets. Starfield's coming out soon, so I'm like,
Yeah,
it's
it kind of
it's
has that what do you call those things? The lava lamp thing look to it too. I like that.
oh
I was
yeah,
thinking
yeah,
lava
yeah.
lamps.
We have two of them here. My son's obsessed with lava lamps. I love that. I love that.
Lucky.
Yeah. I love the look of this. I know you can tell which ones are planet Earth, but it looks like the other planets are there that are being shown are showing that some of these planets used to have life, or that like you have like these
Other
plant.
planets next to them.
Yeah, so you have like these plants on some of the drips on there, right? And I feel like that they're like these plants are showing that these planets had these different types of flora and life in it, and had its own.
I wish I could find the prompt for this one because I know it's way different from the other one. Because what
Yeah.
you're describing kind of reminds me of what I put in there with the plants. I think I was going for like a geranium look as well when I threw in with prompts because I think that's where the plants were coming in.
I would like
A
this.
floral.
That's actually like
Floral
a
and
cool
fauna.
idea. I'd like to see like planets in terranium form. I think that would be really cool. That's an idea too, right
I've
there.
seen some
Actually,
cool terraniums, right? Blow out the glass so it has color in it to look like a planet, and then you can
yeah,
put your little organisms, microorganisms in it to grow. That'd be cool.
yeah. It's very interesting how those things work too. I've
Yeah,
seen
they
some
don't need any
interesting
water
stuff.
after you plug them up. It's weird.
Yeah, actually,
They
kind of
just
want
feed
this.
on their own system.
It's giving me ideas. It's giving me ideas. Actually, it's giving me ideas. Well, that was pretty interesting. We had some interesting ones that came up and about. Next
Mm-hmm.
week we will be doing surrealism.
Okay.
We will be doing it. I will be more prepared. I actually have some stuff. Excuse me. I have some stuff written down and ready to go for it. So,
I
This
have
must
one
be exciting.
suggestion from what I was peeking at on your side with your WWE placemat stuff.
Oh yeah, you saw that?
Yeah, I was digging that. Do like a surreal version of something like that. I would be interested in what
You
that
know, that's
does.
actually funny that you bring that up because like I've been playing a lot of that game, WWE
Which one?
2K23,
Okay,
2K23,
okay.
and the customization on it is insane to the point that like I made those designs so I could put them on my ring aprons. And I use the
Really?
ring ape, yeah, and I'll make a logo for my because like in the game you could make your own wrestling company. You could completely take all the WWE stuff out and make like Strobridge Wrestling Extravaganza, and just like
Oh
cut,
shoot.
you could customize the arenas, the
Now
the
is that stuff you have to pay for? Or does that already have
no, that's already in the
downloadable
game.
content?
So
Wow.
and then
Cool.
you could add your own images in the game to kind of like
Mm-hmm.
make it more immersive. So created my I created my own company called Atlantic Wrestling. So I made the 12 backdrops, and each backdrop I use for a different show in my universe mode. So like
Nice.
mid journey actually did me a favor, and like I was like, oh, like why don't I just use this? And I did. It was really nice, and it worked, and they came out really really interesting too. You saw them. Um,
Yeah.
and again, it's a point of me not selling artwork, just using my artwork for my own doing, so that I could have a
For
little
your
fun
own
with it.
application.
Yeah, just for a little
I
fun.
mean, me designing a little house or bunker, that was a new idea. And like, that was something like I would actually like to apply someday, like build my own house out of something I made on a Mid-Journey app or, something like that. Because it did some cool stuff,
It did. No,
cool
I have to
designs.
agree. I really do have to
I want a
agree.
yurt.
You want a yurt? You said
I want a yurt.
yurts are nice.
Cool.
I like to do a I want to do a
Well,
podcast in
have a circle house. Come into my circle house. I sleep at noon.
one.
The position of the place, the the top part, and then
And
3 o'clock would be the kitchen.
yeah, and then
Nine
we
o'clock
wake
would
up
be the bathroom.
and then we wake up from 5 p.m. to 5 a.m. to smoke and take ayahuasca, and then we call it a day.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yes,
Yep,
that'd be a
yep.
great day.
Yeah, but guys, thank you for coming by to the show. Make sure you check out www.cleansanchezmedia.com for all the artificial mind updates. You can listen to the episodes on that website actually. If you or you can watch it on YouTube, which is I want to say is the best way to watch it. So check us
By
out on
far.
YouTube. Yep. And yeah, just hit us up on the socials and we'll talk. Let us know what you guys think. Tell us what you want to hear. You got anything, Stro?
Until next week, bon voyage.